off my sneakers to the ground. I do not jump, I move the earth down. Bear witness to the genius of my sound. Born at the bottom, but now I'm top down. Look, I'ma call it swagger. I slip through time zones like a cloak and dagger. Mad rubies on my chain. You can see your name bubbling, blood vein. Your girl's in my A because she's sipping on my champagne. That's right, 6 figures in my back pocket. And that's right, 1 million in my safe deposit. That's right, I'm trill all day. On my way to.
What's up, everyone? I hope you all are having a great start to your week. Welcome to the Damn Clemson Show, where we cover the latest news in the sports world. I'm Evan Cooley.
What's up, everybody? I'm Cole. Welcome back for another episode.
All right, and today we'll be diving into college football. It's a busy week here with college football season starting to pick up. ACC Media Week is here, and today we'll be diving into what we're looking forward to from that and discuss who we'll be hearing from representing the Tigers this week. Also, we'll dive into our picks to win each of the Power Four conferences, our Heisman favorites for the season, and lastly, our hot takes for this season. And like always, if you all have any comments or questions, comment down below, and we'll be sure to address it during the show. All right. So, as we know, ACC Media Week is here. Cole,
Yeah.
what are you looking forward to this week?
So obviously I'm most excited to hear from Clemson. I think it's Cade Klubnik, Barrett Carter's going, pretty sure. And who's the last one?
Barrett Carter and RJ Mickens will be there.
RJ Mickens, yeah. I'm really excited to hear from Cade Klubnik, so like all the eyes are on him right now just to kind of lead the offense. Last year was we lost 4 games, so all eyes are on Cade Klubnik in this offense this year. So I'm ready to see what he's got to say about the offense, what he's seen so far in the incoming freshmen, all the seniors that are going to lead this team like Jake Brenningstool and, Phil Moff, guys like that. I'm ready to see what he's got to say about what he expects from the season and what he's ready to look forward to.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see some of this veteran leadership on the team that we're going to have this year. And let me point out, so the ACC Media Week's going to be Monday through Thursday. It kicked off this morning at about 10 a.m. And today, Florida State, Georgia Tech, and SMU will have their media availability. Tomorrow, Cal, Pitt, Stanford, Virginia, and Virginia Tech will have their media availability. Wednesday, we'll hear from Boston College, Duke, Louisville, Miami, and Wake. And Thursday is where we'll hear from the Clemson Tigers, North Carolina, NC State, and lastly, Syracuse. Like you said, I'm excited to hear from Cade. Obviously, all eyes are going to be on him. I'm also really excited to see Phil Moffa and what he has to say. It's going to be a big year for him, in my opinion, and I think that he's the centerpiece to this offense if the Tigers are going to have a successful offense this season. And it's a big year personally for him, too, because a lot of early mock drafts have him going as early as the second round in the 2025 NFL draft. So I'm really excited to listen to him speak and see what he has to say. Yeah,
me too. Like another person like Barrett Carter, who easily probably could have went in the NFL draft last year. He's a guy that's ready to get Clemson back to the college football playoff and, get that Clemson football reputation back that we had from, 2015 starting off in our playoff run. So, these guys want it bad this year. So I really expect this group to come out and firing off all cylinders. So I'm really excited.
Me too. And I'm interested to see the type of questions that Dabo encounters during his availability too. I feel like all the attention's been on him not utilizing the transfer portal this offseason, and I'm interested to see if the questions are still going to be focused on that, or if we'll actually start asking him about his plans for the season and this team that he has right now, and not worried about all the all the criticism that he's faced over this past offseason. So,
yeah. So, obviously we tricked a couple people last year because, I think we did offer a couple people out of the portal. And one of them, I think, went to like Penn State or something, a lineman or something. So everybody's like, okay, Dabo finally's, using the portal. He had no choice. And that was a big topic a while when the portal first opened last year. So obviously he's tricked a lot of people. Everybody's going to have a bunch of questions for him on Thursday. So I'm ready to see how he talks or faces the media because, Dabo's always been really good at facing the media and telling everybody what he likes to do and how he's going to do it because it always going to happen that way. Nobody's going to tell Dabo how to run his program. So, especially like Paul Fonbon. So,
yeah, and I think that obviously this is a prove-it year for Cade Klubnik. I think obviously there's going to be a lot of eyes on him because he's our quarterback. But I think coming off of last season, it wasn't the year that he wanted, and it wasn't the year that the fans wanted. And I think that it's a big year for him, and I think that he's ready to prove that right away. And I'll be very interested to see what he has to say on Thursday as well.
Yeah, and he's I kind of see him as a young Dabo in a way because he's been through a lot his past. He's a junior now, and it seems like he's been through so much as coming from a freshman. Being DJ's backup his freshman year, and leading the team last year. And it's like he knows that he could be a lot better, and I think he will, especially this year. But he faces the media very well. He faces the critics very well. As much as he tries to stay away from social media and not paying attention to what people have to say about him. That's why I think he's a young Dabo because, Dabo always is going to address what the problem was. Cade's always going to take the blame, even if we fumble 4 times or have a lot of drop passes. Cade's going to say, okay, it's my fault. We're going to come back here next week and we're going to give you 100 more % of our effort. So that's why I really like Cade, and I'm not going to give up on him.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it'll be interesting to see what he has to say as well as his other players. And now let's move topics a little bit to our who we think is going to win each of the Power 4 conferences. Obviously, we lost the Pac-12 this past offseason due to conference realignment. As a result, there's a chance that we'll see a lot of new champions in these major conferences. So let's start off with the ACC. Who's your pick, Cole?
Bias is going to say Clemson because, I just think this group's ready to come out. And I think this offense is going to be really – I think they're going to be really good. I'm not going to say that. I know it's hard to say because, last year wasn't – we didn't see a really good offense go out there. But I really do think this is the year Clemson gets back to the ACC championship and takes another title. I think we will play Florida State in the ACC championship, and I do think we will eventually split with Florida State this year. So,
I'm right there with you. I'm in between Florida State and Clemson. I think that the winner of that game this season is going to walk away with it. But I think it's a toss-up. I like Clemson's veteran leadership on this team a lot, which I feel like Florida State really doesn't have. They brought in DJ, who's obviously a veteran, but it's his first year with the team, so it's not quite the same as what Clemson has. And they also lost a lot of talent to the NFL draft this past offseason, and they'll have a lot of new guys in there, new faces. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see, but I think it's between Florida State and Clemson. All right, let's move over now to the SEC, where we have 2 new teams, Texas and Oklahoma. Who do you like in that conference?
I like the Georgia Bulldogs. I do think Texas and Oklahoma could make a big impact in the SEC year one, and I think out of the 2, I think it'll be Texas. Quinn Ewers, he's a guy that's seen easy competition. Like honestly, he came from the Big 12, so I do think him and that Texas Longhorn offense are ready to take on the SEC. But I do think Carson Beck and the Georgia Bulldogs are going to win the SEC title.
I like that pick. I'm in between Texas and Georgia as well. I think that Georgia, when you look at their talent, they're the most talented team in the country, and it's not that close. As well as their depth, it's unbelievable. But Texas did make a run last year and made it to the college football playoffs. And Quinn Ewers is back. A lot of people thought that he might have declared for the draft, but he's back and looking for another great season. I think it's going to be really interesting. I believe that Georgia goes on the road to Texas this year, which will be a great game, or it should be a great game. But I'm interested to see how Texas and Oklahoma adjust to the SEC, because it's definitely way better competition than the Big 12 was for them. And so it'll be interesting to see week in, week out if they can come away with wins, because it's different than the Big 12, where really there's 2-3 teams that are legitimate threats. In the SEC, I mean, you're looking at possibly 6 teams that have a chance at making the college football playoff this year. So it'll be interesting to see. But I'm leaning more towards Georgia due to their talent.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And now moving to the Big Ten, we have a couple of new teams in there, notably Oregon. What are you thinking for the Big Ten?
I think that's kind of a hard one, to be honest, because you got Michigan and Ohio State that could just go at it every year, and that's typically who wins the Big Ten every year. But you got that Oregon team coming in. I think Dylan Gabriel? Is it Dylan Gabriel transfer there? Yeah, Dylan Gabriel's coming in there. I'm gonna go with Oregon. I think it's between. I mean, obviously you got 3 teams that can win it, and just named 3 of them. So obviously, Big Ten's got a lot better this year. So I'm gonna go with Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon Ducks. But I would not take it out of Ohio State's hands, though.
I agree with you. I'm leaning toward Oregon. Dylan Gabriel, I think, is going to be the best quarterback in the Big Ten this year and one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I like them a lot. I like their head coach a lot, Dan Lanning. And if they avoided those couple losses that they had to Washington last year, we would have been talking about them making the college football playoff last year over Washington. It was that close for them. But I also think Ohio State is a team you can't count out. But it'll be interesting to see how Will Howard does as their starting quarterback. He's a little bit unproven and just transferred there from Kansas State in the offseason. So it'll be interesting. But I'm leaning toward Oregon. And lastly, let's move over to the Big 12. Utah joining that notably Utah joining that conference. Who do you think will walk away with it?
Utah and Cam Rising. I mean, he was hurt most of the year last year and didn't hardly play a lot. But we all have seen Cam Rising play football. So I think Utah is going to win the Big 12.
I agree.
I think that's just going to happen. I don't even think there's just to discuss any more teams in the Big 12.
Yeah, I don't either. I think that Cam Rising, I mean, when he's healthy, he doesn't lose games. Utah's always one of the top teams in the country when he's healthy. The last season he was hurt all last year with a knee injury, but he's back. And I think they'll dominate. I think if there is another team that competes with them, it'd be Oklahoma State, possibly Kansas, but more likely Oklahoma State. But I think Utah easily wins the Big 12.
We're going to hear from one of our sponsors.
Are you tired of scrolling endlessly to find the perfect deal?
Who said that?
Me.
Ah! Who are you? How did you get in my house?
Be not afraid. I'm the Frugal Fairy. See, at the Frugaling Shop, we bring the best deals to your doorstep, so you can spend less time searching and more time saving.
Yes, hello? There's a man with wings standing in my living room, and I'm scared.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. That's what Harbor Oasis became for me, a slice of home in Anderson, South Carolina. I stumbled upon this heartwarming marketplace. Roaming through aisles of handcrafted treasures and local art, I felt each piece whispering stories of passion and dedication. It's a place where warmth meets creativity. Join me in experiencing this magical oasis. Explore the beauty, attend soul-enriching workshops, and support local artists. See for yourself how Harbor Oasis can become a part of your story too. Experience the joy today at Harbor Oasis, located at 5013 SC 24 in Anderson. Have you ever stumbled upon a flavor sensation that sweeps you off your feet? That's Waffle Drop. Nestled in the heart of Greenville, we spun up the traditional bubble waffle, a thrilling mix of pancake and waffle into an art form. From the whimsical real blue panda to the decadent Ferrero Rocher ice cream, every bite is an adventure. Imagine savoring a bubble waffle wrapped around your favorite ice cream. Now stop imagining. Visit us at Hampton Station and embark on your own delightful journey. Buy now and feel the happiness we blend into every serving. Experience the joy today at Waffle Drop.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Shifting the conversation now over to our way too early Heisman predictions for the 2024 season. It's been criticized recently as notably a quarterback award. Over the last 20 years, only 4 non-quarterbacks have won the award, but who knows, that might change this season. So let's dive right on into it. Cole, who are your early picks to walk away with the Heisman at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be a quarterback award this year. I do think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna go for my 4 finalists. I think will eventually be there. I'm gonna go with, this is gonna be not really a sleeper pick, but he's made a big jump in his college football career, and I'm going with Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. I'm gonna go Quinn Ewers from Texas, Carson Beck from Georgia, and I'm gonna go Dylan Gabriel. I think those 4 will be Heisman finalists this year.
I like that. I also have Dylan Gabriel in there. And Jackson Dart, I just left off my list, but I could easily see him sneaking in under that Lane Kiffin offense. I also have Jalen Milroe in there. I think that he doesn't last season doesn't scream Heisman winner, but when you look at his combination of speed and size, he has a makeup of what the Heismans have been, what the guys who have been winning the Heismans have had recently. And he has great arm strength. He has the ability to be a great pocket passer, this quarterback, and can also run the ball very well. And he led his team to the playoffs last season. And if he does that again, I think that he'll be a name in there for sure. I also threw Travis Hunter in there, because I feel like we haven't really seen anything like him in a long, long time, playing both wide receiver and cornerback for the Buffaloes. He had the most snaps of any player last season, and he missed 3 games with an injury, which is crazy. And he had 57 catches for 721 yards and 5 touchdowns last season. And on defense, he had 30 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 5 pass breakups. If he can inflate those numbers a little bit this season and, most importantly, stay healthy, I think he'll be in that conversation. I also like Ollie Gordon, the running back from Oklahoma State. He's a little bit controversial right now after his arrest last week. But their head coach, Mike Gundy, said that he'll be playing right away. And, his stats last year were incredible. He had 6 straight games with over 100 yards rushing last year. And against Cincinnati, he had 271 yards rushing. And against West Virginia, he had 282. So, crazy stats from him. And if he can stay healthy, I like him a lot. And then I also threw Quinn Ewers in there. We've already talked about him a lot. And I think the best receiver I also threw in there is best receiver in the country, in my opinion, is going to be Luther Burden III from Missouri. last season he had 1,197 yards receiving, and he had 83 receptions in just his first year playing slot receiver. And I mean, he also had a game with nearly 160 reception yards. So I think it'll be a great year for a lot of these players, and who knows, maybe we could be lucky and see a guy who's not a quarterback win the award.
I like that list a lot, especially Luther from Missouri.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think Missouri too has a legitimate shot of making the playoffs this year, which will definitely help his resume for winning that award if they can do that. And he's got a great quarterback throwing. Tremendous quarterback.
I wish we could see a Clemson guy get back into the Heisman finals, because I feel like we got snubbed of the Heisman every time we've had.
I think Phil Maffa could sneak his way in there. We'll see. I could see him doing it.
Yeah, I agree. But I just, John and Trevor should have walked out with a Heisman.
I know. They got snubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, and let's move over now. Those were already some hot takes with our way too early Heisman predictions, but let's move to some real hot takes now. It's a very unpredictable year with conference realignment and the transfer portal dominating college football. So, Cole, what are some of your hot takes for this season?
I got a couple. I think we go all day with a hot take, but I'm gonna go outside of a Clemson hot take. I do. This is gonna sound insane because I think this Matt Rule Nebraska team. Okay, that's already making everybody be like, what? I think what they haven't seen a bowl game in a couple of years, but I feel like Matt Rule in Nebraska. I think he could have them at 10-2, 9-3, and I don't know. I've kind of kept up in Nebraska, and I've kind of played with them a little bit in the new game, and I kind of like their offense.
Yeah,
I played them a good bit, so I do think Nebraska can get back up there. I want to do a Clemson hot take. I could say we could go 12-0, beat Georgia, beat Florida State, get into the college football playoff and the national championship, this and that. But I don't know. Yeah, hot take. You can have a lot of hot takes. I feel like, it's still July. My hot takes are not going to make a lot of sense until I see us play week 1. So I don't know. It's a little weird. What you got?
And that Nebraska hot take, I haven't heard that one yet. I like Matt Rule a lot. He was a good college coach. That didn't work out for him in the NFL with the Panthers, but I feel like everyone still kind of holds that against him. But he in college before he took that job with the Panthers was a tremendous coach, and he's in his second year with Nebraska now, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. He's got a recruiting class in that's truly his, to see what they can do. And they have probably the best freshman quarterback in the country. So it'll be exciting to see. One of my hot takes is that Texas, Oregon, and Utah will all win their conferences in their inaugural season and their new conferences. I think that would be pretty crazy to see. But who knows? Could happen.
I was going to say something like that, but I kind of ease in there to say maybe the first team conference or the first year conference teams could win it, but I'd be like, okay, let's say that. But hey, that's funny you said.
They're hot takes for a reason. We'll see if it can pan out. But I also got another hot take. This one's pretty bold. I think that Virginia Tech will finish third in the ACC this year. We've talked about them a lot. I like their offense a lot, and I think defensively, if they can hold up, that they have the ability to finish third, but we'll see. I
wouldn't be surprised if Virginia Tech played in the title game.
Yeah.
I feel like, obviously it's going to either come down to us and Florida State. I do think that, unless we just Clemson absolutely just does not play to expectations, but I do think it could be Clemson, Virginia Tech, Florida State, Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if the Hokies are not playing in Charlotte.
Yeah. I think the ACC is very unpredictable this year. I think, but that makes it very exciting to watch. Scary as a fan, but exciting to watch. But we'll see. And that Clemson game at Virginia Tech is going to be a massive game for both teams, but it's going to be a very, very difficult game for the Tigers to go in to Blacksburg, in my opinion. But we'll see how it goes.
It'd be cool to have college game day. But we're going to go ahead and hear from a couple of our sponsors.
Ever wondered what it's like to soar above trees just minutes away from the city rush? I tried the Treetop Quest Greenville, and guys, it's an exhilarating blend of thrill and nature. With over 60 obstacles and zip lines fit for any skill level, the adventure leaves you buzzing with adrenaline. You can swing through courses multiple times in a 2.5-hour session. So why wait? Get your adventure spirit on and check them out today and feel the rush for yourself.
Ever find yourself needing custom gear that really stands out? At Carolina Printing Sports and Trophy in Hartsville, SC, we personalize everything from t-shirts to trophies, making sure your brand or team logo pops. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, or dazzling plaques, we've got you covered. Swing by today and let's create something unique just for you.
Are you tired of scrolling endlessly to find the perfect deal?
Who said that?
Me.
Ah! Who are you? How did you get in my house?
Be not afraid. I'm the Frugal Fairy. See, at the Frugaling Shop, we bring the best deals to your doorstep, so you can spend less time searching and more time saving.
Yes, hello? There's a man with wings standing in my living room, and I'm scared.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. That's what Harbor Oasis became for me, a slice of home in Anderson, South Carolina. I stumbled upon this heartwarming marketplace. Roaming through aisles of handcrafted treasures and local art, I felt each piece whispering stories of passion and dedication. It's a place where warmth meets creativity. Join me in experiencing this magical oasis. Explore the beauty, attend soul-enriching workshops, and support local artisans. See for yourself how Harbor Oasis can become a part of your story too. Experience the joy today at Harbor Oasis, located at 5013 SC 24 in Anderson. Have you ever stumbled upon a flavor sensation that sweeps you off your feet? That's Waffle Drop. Nestled in the heart of Greenville, we've spun up the traditional bubble waffle, a thrilling mix of pancake and waffle, into an art form. From the whimsical Lille Blue Panda to the decadent Ferrero Rocher ice cream, every bite is an adventure. Imagine savoring a bubble waffle wrapped around your favorite ice cream. Now stop imagining. Visit us at Hampton Station and embark on your own delightful journey. Buy now and feel the happiness we blend into every serving. Experience the joy today at Waffle Drop.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Before we leave today, I want to talk about maybe the biggest change to this coming season, and that is the playoff expansion. So, Cole, give me one hot take for the playoff expansion this season that you think is going to happen.
So it is going to answer my take. How many group of five is it? Is it the highest ranked group of five gets into the playoffs?
Yeah.
So it's just one. It's one group of five, not two groups.
Right.
One. I guess you could kind of say it was a hot take as well, but I would love to see the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers in the expanded playoffs. I think that'd be so cool, just because I grew up literally 2 hours from Coastal, and it was kind of fun always seeing them. From going from FCS to FBS to, back in 2014 playing college football, you had to make them in team builder because they weren't even in the game. And now they're in the game. They've had some pretty good seasons since they've been in FBS now. So I would really like to see Coastal Carolina be the highest ranked group of five team that gets into the expanded playoff this year.
I like that. We'll see if they can do it without Grayson McCall, who they lost to NC State. But that'd be great if they can. I think that Liberty. I like Liberty and Tulane a lot. Those are probably my top two.
It'll probably happen, those two teams, but
we'll see. My take for the playoff expansion is that at least 5, maybe 6 SEC teams will make the college football playoff. I think Georgia and Texas are locks for it. I also like Alabama a lot. And then my last 3 that I think could make it are Ole Miss, who I think will have one of the top offenses in the country this year. And then lastly, Missouri and Tennessee. I like both of them a lot. We'll see how Nico does in his first year as quarterback. He had a great bowl game. We'll see if he can carry it over.
I think with that Missouri team, it's kind of like almost unpredictable with them because they're either going to go like 10-2,
right,
or 8-4. So I do like Missouri getting into the playoffs. Who do you think out of the ACC would potentially make it?
I think Florida State will, if they come away with the conference like I've predicted. I think that they'll lock up the number 4, number 5 spot depending on their game against Notre Dame. I think they might lose that game to Notre Dame, honestly, but it won't hurt them that much if they win the ACC. Obviously,
does the each Power 4 conference winner get the buys, right?
I don't know if they get a bye. I know it's an automatic bid, but I don't know if they for sure get a bye or not.
Right.
But I don't know. That's a good question. But you'll see. I do think Clemson will sneak in there towards the 12 spot, 11-12 spot, depending on how the Georgia game goes, the Florida State game goes, and the Virginia Tech game. I think those are the 3 biggest games for them. And I think at 3, 3's unpredictable. I said Virginia Tech, but I don't really know who's going to get that 3rd spot. But I think the ACC is going to get 2 spots in the playoff this year. But we'll see. That could obviously change. But what do you think? How many teams in the ACC do you think get a spot?
It's kind of going where you said. It just depends on how Clemson plays. Depends on how Florida State plays, and like we said, Virginia Tech. I would love to see all 3 of these teams get in.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't jump up and say, "Yeah, Virginia Tech's going to make it." Who hasn't ever seen the college football playoff or hadn't really had. They've had some good teams in my lifetime, at least. But I would love to see the Hokies make a big jump because obviously ACC always gets a lot of hate, critics, and stuff. And I would also like to see Clemson get out of the ACC as well. But we're still in the ACC. We have to support the ACC. So I would at least say one's going to get in. I do think one's going to obviously win it. I'd like to see 2 to 3.
Yeah, I agree. I'd love to see 2 or 3. I think the team that I'm going to have my eye on is SMU in their first year in the ACC. I think, coming over from out of the Power 5 is going to be maybe a tough adjustment for them. But I think the last couple of years they've been a great team, and it'll be interesting to see if they can compete with Florida State, Clemson, all those top teams. So it'll be really interesting to see that. Like always, we thank everyone for joining. I hope you all have a great rest of your week and join us again next Monday at noon for our next live show.
Thank you guys for watching. See you next week.